The immigrant detention center in the Florida Everglades, known as Alligator Alcatraz, at the center now of another court battle. Civil rights attorneys have filed a lawsuit arguing that detainees are being deprived due process. They say people are being kept in custody without any formal criminal or immigration charges against them. And they say there is no standard or confidential way for detainees to communicate with their lawyers. The state of Florida disputes that. It says detainees have had access to video conferencing since mid-July, and in-person meetings began more than 3 weeks ago. It also says no requests to meet with an attorney have been rejected. Joining us now, attorney Renata Castro, who is the founder of the USA for All immigration law firm. Thank you so much for joining us. The state of Florida says the detainees are getting adequate access to attorneys. What are their rights, and how would you define adequate?
Adequate seems to be a moving target at this time. Detainees should be afforded the opportunity under their due process rights to conference with their attorneys confidentially. And that is one of the main concerns that the legal community has for the detainees in Alligator Alcatraz at this time, because the rooms, the facility was built at such speed, if you will, that the rooms and the facilities just can't accommodate private conferences with a private counsel for the number of individuals and with the speed that these individuals are being placed in removal. So that is why this lawsuit arose, and that's why attorneys all over the country are fighting for their clients to make sure that they get access to due process and can fight their immigration claims lawfully.
And how about the claims that they're being kept in custody without any formal criminal or immigration charges against them?
This should not come as a surprise that immigrants throughout the United States, even those that have a claim to a lawful status, just recently we have seen the United States government begin to issue NTAs, which are notices to appear, the equivalent of a summons in a criminal case, for individuals who are in the country without status but are actually pursuing lawful status, such as those marrying U.S. citizens or parents of U.S. citizens. This historically has never been the norm, but the government really changing the use of its resources to make sure that the highest number of people are detained in facilities such as Alligator Alcatraz in lightning speed. So when we see the individuals that are going to the detention centers, they are rarely individuals with a criminal record. They're usually those who have committed immigration violations, and they are able to be detained. But historically, the United States government has never pursued those claims just because it was not judicially efficient to do so.
Because you then lead to a backlog and overcrowding? Is that why?
Certainly, we have to see that immigration detention facilities are private facilities and quite lucrative ones. At this time, the United States government does not have enough immigration judges to hear these cases. So what we're seeing is just a merry-go-round of individuals who fall through the cracks when it comes to due process, because not all of them end up in front of a judge, either because they don't have an attorney, or in some cases, as it has been alleged in the lawsuit being heard by Judge Ruiz in Miami, some of them just end up deported because they couldn't speak to their attorney in a fast enough manner. So this is why it is so important that lawsuits like these really shed some light into the real conditions that these individuals are being subjected to, especially at a time when we're seeing American citizens be wrongfully detained. And can you imagine if one of them ends up deported? I think that that day will soon come.
Renata Castro, thank you this morning.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.